It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Let's get out of here. Aye.
Hey guys, so it's Aaron. I've got this document that I made, and all credit to I think his name is Jeremy. But Dana sent this video along to me, and I'm going to link it in my description box. He does a way better job of explaining what I'm going to explain to you right now. I'm just going to explain to you the nutshell of this. But rethinking Zechariah 5. Zechariah is a very prophetic book, and what I've done here is on the left side is the original King James version, and I've got the other translation of this new revised concept on the right side. And so I'm just going to sum it up real quick here. So basically, Zechariah, it was written around, 520 BC, give or take. Don't quote me on that. It certainly was written not in 2022. It was written in a time where Zechariah wouldn't know what a bomb is. Zechariah wouldn't know what an airplane is. Zechariah wouldn't know what a nuke is, etc., right? And so he would have just described what he saw. If he was seeing a bomb or an airplane, etc., he would have tried to describe it in only the way he knew how. In fact, there was no Hebrew word back then to describe a bomb. Bombs didn't exist back then. Airplanes didn't exist, so he just had to come up with Hebrew words that were close enough to what he might have saw. And so on the left we see it's titled A Vision of a Flying Scroll, but what I've done is I've written A Vision of a Flying Bomb. And so I'm just going to go through the right side here, and hopefully you guys get the basic concept of what I am speculating to be the true explanation of Zechariah 5. And you know how it says in Daniel, knowledge will increase and we'll go to and fro and we'll start to understand things, right? And so here we are, Zechariah 5, and it really makes a lot of sense for our time, like now. It makes so much sense for literally today, this week, this month. Okay, Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, the flying Megillah. Well, in Strong's, that's like a scroll, but it was flying. But the interesting thing here is the measurements of this flying Megillah, which is very much, it looks like a cylinder. It's basically, when you do the measurements and you convert it, it's approximately 36 feet by almost 6 feet in diameter. It's basically a bomb. He's basically seeing a giant bomb flying around the sky. But when you read more into Zechariah, it kind of confirms that, and we'll get there in a second. But Zechariah 5:3, then he said to me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as it on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with timber thereof, and the stones thereof. So consume it with the timber and the stones thereof. So it's going to cause a lot of destruction. So the latter part of Zechariah 5 is pretty interesting too. It really ties it all together. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, lift up now thine eyes and see what is this that goes forth. And I said, what is it? What is it? I don't really know what that is. Okay, and he said, this is on the left it says ephah, but on the right, when you figure out what an ephah is, it's a 20 to 40 liter container. It depends on what you're carrying. If you're carrying grain, it's a certain thing. If you're carrying liquid, it's a certain thing. But it's essentially a large container that carries something. Okay, so anyway, that it goes forth, and he said, moreover, this is their resemblance. Might have spelt that wrong. Oh, I guess it's there. Okay, yeah, there. Resemblance through all the earth, which means there's more than one. Okay, more than one. There's a lot of these things flying around the earth, these large containers that hold something. And remember, we had a bomb reference at the beginning, right? So these large containers are likely carrying around bombs. Okay, Zechariah 5 verse 7, and behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead. We know that lead is a massive component in nuke bombs and all bombs of all sorts of kinds of things. And again, I'll link the video that he describes it way better than I'm describing it right now. But we know that lead is a form of artillery and military, weapons. So anyway, we've got this lead thing. It's a container, looks like a bomb flying around the sky. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is Aisha. Now, to the left it says woman, but The Aisha word, if you look at the Strong's number H801, which is just one number off, it means fire offering. So we've got this fire offering that's connected to a lead container that looks like a bomb flying throughout the earth. Okay. And Zechariah 5:8. And he said, this is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the container, and he cast the weight of lead. There you go. There's the lead material. I should have highlighted that, but that's okay. Upon the mouth thereof. Zechariah 5:9. Then lifted up I mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came 2 fire offerings. Okay, so basically, right, 2 bombs or 2 explosions, or however you want to look at it. And the wind, and if you look into the definition of that word, some more detailed descriptions would be anger, violent, blast, was in their wings. Okay, and for they had wings like the wings, well, of an airplane. Now, if you saw an airplane back in 520 BC, like, how else would you have described it? I think the best description would have been a stork. It would have been a stork carrying something, right? And that's what he said. He said it looks like a stork, basically. That's what he's getting at. And so I took the liberty of saying, well, maybe he's actually saying airplane wings, airplanes carrying bombs, fire offering, 20 to 40 liter containers, right, etc. So anyway, the wings, for they had wings like the wings of an airplane, and they lifted up these containers between the earth and the heaven. I mean, there you go. They're flying in the sky. I mean, how else would he have described this? Zechariah 5:10, then said I to the angel that talked with me, whither do these bear the containers? In the last verse, and he said unto me, to build it a house in the land of Babylon, and it shall be erect. And we know that missiles of these size they sit on a base and they stand perpendicular, just like it's described here with this Hebrew word, and set there upon her base. Yeah, they all sit on bases pointing up, ready to be sent out with the red button, so to speak, right? So you know what? It's up for interpretation. Maybe this is all completely wrong, but for me, I'm pretty convinced that Zechariah 5 is talking about bombs and coming destruction. And one thing here, just to remind you, that in Zechariah 5:6, this is their resemblance through all the earth. I mean, there's bombs everywhere, right? So I think this is very practical, and it ties really well to our current situation on the world with all these potential bombs flying everywhere. And Zechariah is certainly a prophetic book. And let me know what you guys think. And if you're very interested in this, like I said, I'm going to link the video. His video is on some website that I'm not even familiar with. And again, Dana, thank you for passing this along. I think this makes a lot of sense to me. And so, yeah, God bless. See you in the clouds. Hopefully we fly very soon. And go Jesus, go.